sweetie. So this is the morning after the night before, and we had the cat sleep on the bed with us last night. Fergus has been up and he's had some breakfast and come back to bed. Dave fed them before he went to work, and he really struggled this morning because Dave's always up first in the morning, and because Gabby sleeps in the kitchen, or because Gabby slept in the kitchen overnight, we always had a few things to clean up, like the wee pads and stuff, because she couldn't get into the litter tray, so we made quite a lot of adjustments. And we moved things around so that she didn't struggle to jump up and down on things. And, you know, she would eat her food overnight, so she did okay. So Jimmy was in his crate as normal, but Fergus, Errol and Lizzie could be around us, and as you can see, I think at the moment I don't think they're too sure. I think, to be honest, Lizzie was a bit freaked out when we got in last night because she saw me leave with Gabby yesterday, and she saw the crate come home, and as soon as I walked in through the front door, I was just in tears. You know, oh God, I've really got to just get through this little bit because I want to get up and I want to go downstairs, but I know she's not going to be there, and this is the bit that no one tells you about when you lose one of your cats, a furry member of your family. I mean, we had her for nearly 17 years. So, yeah, we've lost other cats over the years, and we've been through this so many times. But it never gets easier when you have to say goodbye and let them go, even though it really, you know, is the last kind of thing that we can do. So, normally, once Dave has gone to work, I start to come round and I would go downstairs and make another brew. I would establish where Gabby is, and I would try and get her to eat some food and get her meds into her. But obviously, this morning's going to be pretty different, so I need to take my cup downstairs. The cup of tea that Dave brought me up before he went out was gone cold because I just couldn't drink it. So, here's Errol. I'm just sitting on the landing there, aren't you, mate? Hey? I know things are going to be a bit strange. Are you okay? Hey. Good boy. Dave washed the carrier that we took her to the vets in yesterday. As you can see, it's just like little things that we did. We had like wee pads, you know, by the litter trays, so that if she didn't make it, then there was a wee pad there. And you know, the cat room, the crate that you've just seen would always go here because we leave the cat carriers out during the day. Oh. She would normally be up here if she wasn't in our bed in the morning. I would come and find you on here, and you know, she would jump down from there onto this pillar onto the floor. But as you can see, we had the cat cams installed, so that we could keep an eye on her and Jimmy, obviously, when he had his seizures. And sometimes she would just walk off this bed onto here and then just jump straight down onto the floor. And as you can see, we've got the wee pads in front of the tray. So we're not going to be changing those anymore. I mean, we always have them under the trays anyway, but we did this extra for Gabby. And, you know, it's the cat room. So there's pictures of our cats. And it's just, it's so hard. You know, there's Jefferson. And on here, obviously, we've got Lizzie and Errol, and we've got Fergus. But Xena was Gabby's sister that we lost almost 2 years ago. So, obviously, this is also the crate where Jimmy sleeps because of his health issues overnight. And one of the climbing frames here in the corner, this little ramp used to be down at the bottom. So because we were aware that Gabby was struggling so much with her mobility, Dave just attached one to this worktop thing for her. So you know, she went from the windowsill, because she would still go on the climbing frame, and sometimes I'd come home in between visits and she would be sat on here. So it's just really strange. And we've got pictures, you know, of our first 4 cats. And obviously we've also got Fergus's picture that Anita did, one of our favourite artists. And one thing I'll share with you is that Anita is currently in the process of doing Gabby's picture for us. So we are hoping that that will be finished quite quickly. Yeah, just, she's not on our bed and she's not in the cat room, and she would if she was not in any of those places. When I come downstairs, she would be sat in the hallway. And yeah. Hey, Lizzie Bug. Hey, sweetie. Hey. Hello. I know you're gonna miss her so much as well. God. I feel sick. Just, I don't think it feels normal. We've got Jimmy's automatic feeder. Errol's just sat there. And then, obviously, coming in the kitchen. Not quite sure what's going on here, but I'm sure that's not where Dave will have the water fountain. Oh God, the floor's wet, do you know? I needed a lamp this morning to come downstairs. Oh, was that you, Lizzie? Hey. Oh God, what are you doing? Just, someone's obviously been for a swim. Dave will have done the water fountains this morning. Yeah, that's, yeah. I'm going to have to come and stand there and turn that off and get that cleaned up. It's quite funny because, yeah, the floor is absolutely soaking wet. Oh God, guys. Oh. Okay, so I might not have anything to do with Gabby to clean up, but yeah, this morning. Oh, you know, they're the best medicine, aren't they? Oh, God. Well, I wasn't expecting that when I came down this morning. That's for sure. Oh, it's just get a load of kitchen roll on that to clean that up. It makes a change to all the wee and everything that we've been clearing up lately. Oh, you know, and just cats, they make you laugh, they make you cry. Was this you? Was this you? Yeah, you can stand on the kitchen roll and dry your paws. Yeah. You little monkey. Oh, God. That little stool is what we have for the cats to sit on when we're in the kitchen. Oh, God, even that swimming. It's like they've actually emptied the water fountain nearly. Oh, that's just... Well, took the pressure off a bit, didn't it? Oh, God. And just in here as well, we've got the cat cupboard with the food bowls, and we've got a full container of her food. Yeah, you lot have been fed this morning. You're not sneaking me for a second breakfast. And every morning I'd come downstairs and Dave would have changed this week pad overnight. And normally now when I come down I would have to change it as well. But yeah, that's not necessary this morning. And I'd always come over here and get their little medicine thing out. Let's get some more light in. Oh, God. We always had, you can hear them in there, 5 milligram tablets cut in half for her. She'd have 2.5 milligrams every morning and 2.5 milligrams every night. And then she had her gabapentin medication. And we always laughed because obviously her name was Gabby, for short for Gabrielle. So we used to call it Gabby Benton. It was just what we did. And most days she would have one in the morning and one at night. And we'd be giving her this now. But if we thought she was on a bad day, we'd give her one at lunchtime. And then obviously she'd have her Sistafan capsules every other day as well. And then these were just backups of her tablets. Oh, that's just Jimmy's meds, his Cadillacs and his anti-epilepsy meds, and he has his Ucalm, and he also has his the gabapentin liquid medicine for his neuropathy. And so yeah, that's really strange. Hey Ninja. Hey, you okay? God. So yeah, no one tells you how hard these bits are. It's just, yeah, really bad. I'll get a strong cup of tea. Oh, tea's supposed to make everything okay. Just everything at the moment just feels really shitty, to be honest. I just don't know. I just don't know what to do because I'm not doing any of my normal routine. It hurts. I've got pain just at the top of my tummy. And leave the tea bag in there a bit. I feel like I really want a strong cup of tea. Get me started today properly. It's just, yeah. I always get our Christmas tree decoration from the guy in town, and we always have one that has all the cats' names on, and I didn't have this year's done yet because we could see that she was going downhill, and yeah, I think both Dave and I knew, to be honest, and so yeah, that's not been done. And Dave had the dryer on before he went out. Oh no, the washing machine. Oh God, we just we washed some blankets last night because she would wee on the pads and stuff. It meant that the fur at the back of her legs would be wet, and we would have to wipe her with her wipes. But we had like loads of these like fleecy blankets and stuff extra on our bed and on the footstool, so that, you know, we didn't want to not have her settle somewhere where she wanted to. So we just went round last night and picked these all up. And this blanket is the one that was on our bed. And she loved this blanket. I mean, to be fair, they all do. But this is always where you would find Gabby, on this blanket. And it's all clean now. But you know, like, obviously your washing machine never completely removes every hair, so it's clean and fresh and it's ready to go back on the bottom of the bed. So I'm gonna get that one dried first, I think, because I think I'll feel better when I've got that one back on the bed. It'll just feel a bit more normal. It's just really horrible not being here for so long since Easter. We'd just like wonder where she is and stuff, and we'd always go to find her and sit with her, and I know we've done like loads of vet trips and everything, but yeah, it's gonna be really hard today, but in true cat style. Oh, the other guys make a mess. God knows, it would have been Errol or Lizzie that's just decided to hoof for the fountain. They're saying it, if you don't laugh you'll cry. So it's just really, really difficult. So I'm just gonna take it as easy as I can today. I'm gonna keep my eye very closely on the other cats to make sure they're okay, because it'll soon become apparent that that she's not here and that she's like not just away overnight or something. When Dr. Sarah Heath was here over Jimmy, she did tell us that we might have some problems with him when we lose Gabby. So as you know, Jimmy's just not really very with it. He doesn't really know what is going on around him. He just sort of like mimics and follows the other cat's behaviours. But yesterday, he was really nice to Gabby. All the other cats stayed away from her. And he just, wherever she was, he'd go up and there he is now actually. And that's Lizzie chunnering at the water in the kitchen. Hey, mister. You know, some people will say, oh, it was just a cat. And you've got 4 others, you know, that need you and that you love. And it's like, God, yeah, like we know. But she wasn't just a cat. She was a member of our family, and we'd had Gabby and Xena since they were 12 weeks old. We adopted them from Mid-Cheshire Animal Welfare. This is funny because Jimmy's gonna hate getting wet feet. He's so funny. He's gonna wonder, look at him. They're funny. What was I saying? Yeah, we adopted Gabby when she was 12 weeks old from Mid-Cheshire Animal Welfare. We went in and it was not long after we moved into this house in 2003. And we saw Gabby, we fell in love with her. And then the lady came over and she went, oh no, don't go getting attached to her because you can't have her on her own. If you take her, you've got to take her sister as well. And then Xena, the dark tortie, popped her head round and that was it. We fell in love with both of them. They had both been adopted by a family who had a disabled child when Gabby and Xena were just 8 weeks old. And they thought it would be a good idea. They thought it would help the child, but unfortunately the disabilities that the child had meant that they were very rough with the kittens, so they went back. And so this time Mid-Cheshire Animal Welfare wanted to ensure they were going to go to a good home where they could stay together, not be split up, and that they would have the best home possible. And yeah, they were happy for us to adopt them, so that was what we did. You can't get in there because that's Jimmy's and you've had your breakfast this morning. So yeah, 2003, not long after we moved into this house. So yeah, that's Gabby and Xena's story. And as you know, we lost Xena a couple of years ago, between the Christmas and New Year, not long after we adopted Jimmy. So we've lost and had to say goodbye to a lot of cats over the years. You know, we've been very lucky that we've had cats live to such a good age, but we've had to let them go when they've been really poorly. And I think I knew yesterday that I wouldn't be bringing her home. And Dave just got there as quick as he could from Crewe on the train. He got the taxi straight to the vets. And they just looked after her and me so well. They did a scan. They did a cystocentesis to check the urine in her bladder. And they ran bloods. And her glucose levels were just through the roof. like you wouldn't believe. And even though they had been on previous results, we didn't want to go down the diabetic route with her because we know that she wouldn't have handled it very well. So we maintained everything to do with her food so that she could eat little and often to keep her stable. But the longer she was here, it kind of became apparent that there must be something else going on, because a cat with diabetes would not have been as well as what Gabby has been for the last 6 months. So that is also how Dave and I knew when she was going downhill that, you know, it was serious, and that whatever was wrong with her, you know, it's there's no coming back from this. And we spoke at length to Christina yesterday, and it was thought that her pancreas was now the problem. There's obviously so much going on inside. So that was the feeling, and that was the thought. God, my head's absolutely banging. I just feel so sick. So, you know, it's really hard for vets and vet nurses because they don't want you to lose your pet. And there was maybe one more thing that we could have tried with her. We could maybe have got her in with a specialist who could have scanned her pancreas to find out what was wrong with it. But we asked Christina the question, will it give us different results? Will it give us different treatment options? And the answer was no. And Christina also wasn't happy for us to bring Gabby home because she was so wobbly on her feet. And the fact that she'd started to go downhill quite suddenly over the last 24, 48 hours meant that she would continue to go downhill quite quickly. And Christina very kindly said that we could bring her home and that she would come to the house after surgery to put her to sleep. And we really appreciated that, but because we know how much Gabby struggles in the car, she doesn't really like car journeys, and she's had a hell of a lot of vet visits recently. She was settled at the vet's, so we just asked if we could go to a quiet room away from the clinic, away from the equipment, and just have time with her. And she settled on Dave's knee, and then she settled on my knee, and she actually went to sleep. And of course it's just the waiting for it, isn't it? It's just, you know, they, as other human beings, care so much. They don't like to see people upset, but God, vets and vet nurses have a really hard job. And I think probably since March, every single one of the staff at Four Paws has just been amazing. Yes, I know a lot about cats, but I didn't know a lot about how to care for Gabby and the things I would have to do, and they ensured that I was okay to give her the injections and that I was okay to give her the subcut fluids when necessary, because that's what we do. We will always do whatever we can for our cats, and we are sensible that we know there comes a point when you can't do any more. So that time sadly was yesterday, and I
don't know why this is poignant to me, but Gabby is actually the last cat that my dad would have known. So yeah, just, you know, this is the 9th year now without my dad, and yeah, it's just, you know, like the end of a chapter sort of thing. I don't know, it's just, don't know, it's just, it popped in my head a while ago and it kind of never left. So we've got 4 gorgeous cats that need us, and we love them all dearly. They are our family. And I think as well, you know, we've never had kids, but I've never been the sort of person that sees cats as my substitute children. But I suppose, you know, all that maternal love and everything that we have as women, I just, yeah, devoted it all to my cats and looked after them. And, you know, this is the first time in a long time that we're down to 4 cats now. And some people go, what, 4 cats? You know, that's mad to some people. But I know people that have got more cats, and, you know, it's yeah, it's just, it's going to be a hard day today. And yeah, these pictures here are also pictures that our favourite artist has done. This one sort of like represents me and Jimmy, and yeah, Anita does beautiful cats, so we commissioned her to do Fergus, and then when her diary would allow, we booked in all the other cats to be done. But a couple of months ago I said, look, you know, Gabby's really poorly, can you possibly start her sooner rather than later? And she has done, and she's about halfway through, and that is going to help us a lot when that gets here. We're having Gabby cremated and they're going to get her done as soon as possible for us, and we will have her back home. We have all of our cats just in little boxes. They all have their little place, you know, they're not obvious around the house, they're all just away quietly, and we know where they are because, you know, as house cats, we want to have them in our home with us. So yeah, there's, you know, obviously there is, it's weird because there's like emotion there because I could just cry, and like either Lizzie or Errol's just made me laugh with hoofing the water fountain in between Dave leaving and me coming downstairs, almost as if they knew to do something to make me laugh, but that's how I look at it anyway. Oh my god, what was I saying? Yeah, so even though there is like some emotion there, I feel a bit numb, but like I ache as well. Like I said, I've got this pain in my tummy that after caring so intensively for Gabby and doing so much for her, and Dave and I both giving her so much of our time and love, it's a massive void today, and it just feels numb. And even though we've been here before, we know that we will get through this, and we know that we're always going to miss her. I think it would be really hard getting the Christmas tree decoration done for this year, but we'll do it. Might have one done specially for her. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. And we will also feel so much better once we have her back with us. That also kind of completes things. You know, at the moment she's not here, we're not doing anything for her. I just want her back. And I said to Steph, the head vet nurse, please, I know that, you know, the places are busy, they have a lot of animals to deal with. I said, but please get her done as soon as you can. And they will do. That just, yeah. That was difficult coming downstairs this morning and not seeing her in any of the places where she would be. And I mean, I still got her meds out, but I've not done anything about it. So, and it's really funny because this week is actual Open Up to Grief Week. It's National Grief Week for the first time, and it's a lady called Linda who I got to know in 2016 who set this charity up. And I thought, wow, that's quite apt in a way that we've lost Gabby this week, and you know, during this week. And I wanted to just, I don't know why I wanted to video coming downstairs for the first time. I think maybe because I wouldn't feel as alone. It would feel like there's somebody here with me when I do it. Yeah, so we've lost a member of our furry family and it hurts, and I know that we're not alone. I know that a lot of people go through it, and a lot of people don't know how to handle it, and they're scared of opening up, and we shouldn't be, because we have a right to be sad, because they are our family. Whether they're 6 months old, a year old, they live to Gabby's age of almost 17, or they live till they're much older, like 20 and 21. You know, it's still a loss at the end of the day that we feel hugely, and we shouldn't be embarrassed to talk about it. And I think whilst it was still so raw, I just wanted to, I don't know, just like be as real as possible, if that makes sense. And I know that there's things that we have gone through before that we might have mentioned or posted about that have helped other people, and I am a huge believer that, you know, whatever we go through in life, whatever story you share, it will always help somebody else, and you might not know it does, but it does. And I think that's why I wanted to just do this. And you know, I might not post it, then again I might, I don't know, I'm just gonna see. But I've done it. I didn't feel as alone coming downstairs this morning. I miss her terribly. You know, I had to give her some extra food, encourage her to eat and stuff. I had wet feet walking on the kitchen floor. It's just priceless, isn't it? You couldn't. That's the thing with animals, isn't it? You just, stuff just happens with them. And so we're a very close little family, me, Dave and the kitties, and we will all look after each other, and we'll just have to keep a little extra close eye on Jimmy. Yeah, he'll be okay, and we'll be okay. So yeah, miss Gabby. It's not going to be an easy day, but with lots of cups of tea and just not putting too much pressure on myself for the next couple of days, because yesterday was such a bad day and my eyes hurt so much this morning after all the crying. Yeah, just, it's going to be a quiet couple of days for both of us while we work through it, I think. Not easy, but this is what happens when you open your heart to love animals and have them as your family members, that when the time comes to say goodbye, or we lose them, some people don't get that chance to say goodbye, and we've always felt grateful that we've had that, you know, that means a lot to us, that we were there for them at the end. And because, you know, she'd gone a bit senile and she wasn't really aware of what she was doing and forgetting where the wee pads were and stuff over the last 24-48 hours, our hearts just started to break because we knew what was coming. And it's one of those things, isn't it? You might have been through it before, but every time you do, it never gets easier. It's because we love them, and we're all cat loving people. So if I do post this, I just want to say thanks for listening until the end. Thank you for all the kind messages. Not being able to read all of them, obviously, but I will, because there'll be a huge comfort today and tomorrow, and to look back on over the next few days until we get her back home, which hopefully won't be too long. So I'm going to sign off and drink this cup of tea, and I'm gonna go and clean up the water from the water fountain that's all over the kitchen floor. Cleaning up with a difference this morning. Oh, okay, thank you.